Hello everyone, welcome to the show where we interview the next generation of vegans and teach you the practical side of having a plant-based diet. Today, we interview Jessica Ortiz, a super hot NPC national qualified bodybuilder. Check her out on Instagram. So, hello everyone, my name is Danny Weiss and I'm here today with Jessica Ortiz.
Hi guys.
A sexy vegan bodybuilder who started bikini, right?
Yes.
And then you moved up to physique.
It'll be figure for women, and now I'm in the process of building a new body. So
Girl, yes.
I'm on to the next stage of my life will be representation of the vegan movement, not just in bikini, but taking it another step will be competing as a figure athlete.
That is so amazing. So I don't know about you. I've only been vegan. I haven't competed while being vegan yet. Last time I competed, I was a full meat eater, and there were actually some vegan bodybuilders there, and I remember making fun of them. Do you ever feel like when you tell someone you're, especially in the bodybuilding world, do you ever feel like they kind of judge you or make fun of you, or do you feel supported in that sense?
In the beginning, it was hard, and because I was so skinny, when I started bodybuilding, I was only 90. I was between 92 pounds and 95.
Wow.
And people back then will judge me like, you're too skinny. You won't be eating anything. You're in the wrong industry. Like, vegans can build muscle. At one point, I had a coach, and it was for my second, and it was my first actual NPC. And he kept telling me, "Oh, you're vegan? It's okay because you're a bikini athlete." Like, I'm paying this guy for him to coach me, and they kept telling me that you're a bikini athlete, so you're okay as a vegan. So in the beginning, it was hard, but I knew I had to put in the work, and I had to put in the work so I could show people, like, hey, if you eat if you have a plant-based diet, you're not gonna be skinny, you're not gonna be malnourished. Instead, you're gonna look great. And I
Exactly.
tell people I'm vegan, and they're just like, well, how do you do it? And it's
Right.
I've been training for 4 years now, and vegan. I'm gonna be on my 3rd year in April.
That is awesome. Okay, so I'm not even on the questions yet because I knew I didn't even have to make questions because I'm so intrigued by this whole thing, right? So, when you first won, I saw on your Instagram that you got first place, and was that nationals or was that a show pre-nationals?
Oh, that was a regional show. That was March of 2015. I did an NPC in Culver City muscle contest, and then the following weekend, I did San Diego Championships again, another NPC muscle contest. Both great shows. I had a great time. I really enjoy being on stage.
Yes.
And I was surprised. It was. I think I even cried a little when
Yes, it's a good
you know how
feeling.
it goes when they place you in the center and they tell you face the curtains. And I remember just like closing my eyes and telling myself, please don't move me, please don't move me.
Exactly, yes. When I competed in the Ronnie Coleman, and unfortunately it was 2 years ago, and I ended up getting a autoimmune disease because of the way I dieted down.
Oh wow.
And yeah, I couldn't walk for 4 months, and it ended up, that's why I became vegan, because they put me on chemotherapy to fix it, and then I was just sick all the time. And so I just said, you know what, I did research, and it was like, get rid of dairy, and also like meat also kind of affects it. And I was like, you know what, let me just get rid of meat too, since then I can have a label, right? And then but being on stage though, I mean, even though I wasn't a vegan, if I would have been vegan, oh my gosh, I would just have felt so good. But yeah, I got second place, and even just when they called the third place girl out, I was like, holy crap, I just got second or first place. Like, I don't even care if I get second right now. I'm so happy. Like, I don't know about you, but my face was like so dry because your water like restricted. So you're like,
No, it's funny to see that because one of my videos from Instagram, My friend Heather recorded when I was on stage, and they were gonna switch. It was for the overall, and you could totally see I'm like licking my
Yes.
I'm so dry. I'm so thirsty.
You're like, someone bring me water
Yes, and cookies, water and
and
cookies.
cookies. So what was the first thing you ate after you got done off the show?
Which the show in March or
I
national?
guess, yeah, I guess March and then the recent nationals. Like, did you ever rebound really hard, or you kind of are really strict on yourself when it comes to
No. It's so hard. We diet so hard for so long, and we restrict ourselves from from life,
right?
basically. I always have cookies. So I had cookies and pizza, and after nationals, what did I have? Oh, it was for the national show. It was different because I woke up and I was really, really flat. So I peaked on Thursday instead of peaking on Friday.
Oh,
Yes, I woke up and I remember I went to get this the second tan and I looked at myself. I went like this on my butt, like, oh no, it was
you're pissed. You're like, damn it.
yes. And I took a picture, I took a selfie on Thursday morning. I was like, wow, I look great. But it didn't hit me that I had peaked. So
So wait, how did that happen? Like, what are you gonna do next time to make sure that you don't peak, too late?
I think I'm gonna have to eat more carbs because I have really fast metabolism and I was reading the rules for figure and they want the athletes to come in fuller and instead of so lean that what they want in bikini. And
Hmm.
that was one of my things that I wanted to do at national show. It was bring a total different physique, physique than the show in March because I felt in March I was way too skinny and I didn't like it. I'm a big believer that the bigger you are, the better you look. So it was heartbreaking when I woke up Friday morning and I was really flat. Not what I wanted to show the judges. I wanted to show the judges
Right.
something full, something healthy, not something so lean, so depleted of everything, of water, carbs. So I was lucky enough that on Thursday night I went with my cousin. We went to Sprout. Was it Sprouts? Yes, and I bought a bunch of stuff, cupcakes, everything that is said vegan and has sugar in it. It was in my basket.
You're like, I need to carb.
Yes. So I was fortunate enough to have my friend Tracy with me, she has done one competition. She competed as a bikini, and now she's going into figure for the same reason, because we like to lift heavy weights at the gym.
This
Uh,
is your sister?
my friend Tracy,
Oh, okay.
me in Miami, and she started just feeding me. Here, have some cookies, have some cupcakes. I had to eat pasta too because I was just my body was burning every single calorie and carb that I was putting in it. So this time it was different. I got to enjoy my sweets before going on stage.
That's awesome. So you actually did end up filling out when you ate all the carbs? Like,
Yes, yes. And
wow.
backstage, I met up with Tracy again before I had to step on stage, and she told me, "Okay, it's time for you to have your Sour Patch Kids." I was eating rice cakes.
You're like, don't have to twist my arm.
Oh, sure. Give it to me. I'll eat it.
So, okay, now I want to know a little bit about your vegan journey. So, I don't know if you follow Pal Simeon on YouTube, but he always talks about the trifecta. He's like, it's good for your health, it's good for the animals, and it's good for the environment. The trifecta, bro. So, what leg of the trifecta is your main why?
It'll have to be for the animals. Um, I watched videos. It was my dad who introduced me to veganism. I have no idea about that you could only eat plants for the rest of your life.
Right.
I had no idea what goes behind slaughterhouses, behind the walls of a slaughterhouse, and it's horrible. And he showed me videos that taken from PETA.org, and I just started crying. I that was the day that I told myself, okay, I need to change. Since I was new to veganism, or it was brought new to me. I didn't jump right into it. I'm not that type of person. You know, there's tons of vegans out there. That's how they did it. Great,
Right.
good for you. But it was not gonna be. I knew that if I were to just jump into it, I was gonna eventually lose myself and go back to my old ways. So what I
Right.
did is I would say I took one animal out at a time.
Yes.
I started as a pescatarian, then vegetarian, and then I decided to transition to veganism when I saw a video of a cow giving birth and a man, a worker, just taking her newborn away from her.
Yes.
And you could see the desperation in her eyes. I just felt empathy for her, and that's it. That's when I broke the addiction to cheese. Like, no more cheese, no more dairy products. I started doing my research when I was a vegetarian, how to be a right vegan, because I had no idea how to even eat on a plant-based diet,
Right.
especially how to build muscle as a vegan. So I did my research. I following vegan bodybuilders like Tori Washington, the Plan Build team, who also they also compete. I believe they compete in Texas. And I told myself, you know what? If they could do it, I'm gonna do it too. And when I first went vegan, I had no passion for competing. I didn't even know even. I think I started seeing competitors on Instagram. I was like, oh, that's actually a thing.
Right.
And then my friend, he told me he met me at the gym and he said you should definitely compete. You have the body for it. I'm like, I don't know, maybe. That was when I was vegan, and I started asking myself, well, if I step on stage as a vegan competitor, that's a great way to show the world, to show the bodybuilding world that we don't need animal products in order to build muscle, you know, to look a certain way. That we could definitely do it in a more compassionate way, and that is, you know, following a plant-based diet. And like you said, it's not just about saving the animals; it's also saving ourselves, saving the environment, saving the earth, and being able to live longer in a healthy way.
Looking beautiful when we're 80 years old.
Right.
Looking fabulous. I don't know if you follow Gary Yavovsky. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. But he does these very intense speeches, and he always goes over the excuses of what people say and what we can say back to them. But one of the things he said was, you think you're killing the animals. You think we're top of the food chain and we're killing the animals, but in return, they're actually killing us. Like, we eat them, they kill us with all our diseases that we have and side effects. So I thought that was really interesting. Okay, so besides your muscle building, what are other like top 5 effects that you've felt so far by becoming vegan?
I think it'll be energy level is always high. Um, I feel like, you know, your body changes, acne. This is for women, our menstrual cycle changes. I don't,
Yeah.
cramps out the door. I still get moody, you know, that's a given.
Yes. I will cut someone.
Um, but I feel like energy level, the way that you feel about yourself is great. Acne too. I had bad acne before. Now is getting clear. It always goes down with the competition prep. Acne comes out when I put all the sugar in the body.
Yes.
But then, you know, the body goes back to normal. And I think those are like the three main ones that I have noticed. And I'm just like always happy. You know, bloated. I remember when I used to eat meat, I would always feel heavy, bloated. And now that I go out, not just things that I cook here at home, but I go out to dinner to a vegan restaurant, and you feel satisfied. You don't
Right.
you don't feel you don't start regretting after eating. And it's funny because all my friends who are not vegan, I take them to a vegan restaurant. They always say the same thing. Oh, like I feel great. Yeah, you just had a full meal, and you're not hating yourself, and your body's not hating you.
Right. That was something one of the excuses that I get from people, and also I gave before I was vegan, was, oh, I could never be vegan. I love eating food. And that's something I used to say too. And I'm like, look, If you want to eat food, you need to be vegan because you can eat as much as you want all the time. You eat, you're not full, like you're full, but you're not depressed. And then you can eat more and more and more. Like I used to eat every 3 hours as a meat eating bodybuilder, but as a vegan bodybuilder, I eat every 30 minutes and it's amazing. I love food. So if you love food, go vegan.
Right. That's what
um,
people say at work. Whenever I go to work, I have like my stack of bowls. I feel like myself is like, this is my fridge. 'Cause I'm always eating. I try to eat every 2 hours.
so you've always prepped on a vegan diet. You've never prepped on a meat eater diet?
No, never.
Okay. So when you compare your macros to other meat eating macros, are your carbs the same or do you have higher carbs or is that because of your body or is that because you're vegan or what is
Um, it's because of my body. I have a fast metabolism, so I like to add more carbs to my body. It's funny because the way that my body reacts to the carbs, I feel like, we all react the same way to carbs. We get fuller. And it's
Yeah.
funny, when I wake up in the morning, I don't like it because so flat. No, I don't like it. I need my carbs. Even today in the morning, I usually have oats. Like, I feel like having a sweet potato and popcorn.
Yes.
And peanut butter random. That was my breakfast this morning.
Popcorn, peanut butter, and what was the other thing?
A sweet potato.
Sweet potato. I love it. I think one of the things that being makes it easier to go vegan, especially for breakfast, because breakfast is such a dairy mecca. Like that is where you eat the most dairy with your cereal, your eggs. Actually, eggs aren't dairy, but you know what I mean. Like once you're vegan, it's really hard to find. Actually, let me change that sentence because it's not hard to find. It's just a different mindset of what you can eat for breakfast. So if you decide to go vegan, I always suggest to get rid of that belief of like you have to have breakfast food at breakfast. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to. Sometimes in the morning, I wake up, I'll eat a piece of toast with avocado with a bowl of rice, a ton of veggies, black beans. That's my breakfast. You know what I mean? So it took me a while to get over that because I was like, no, I must have eggs and toast and bacon or cereal or waffles. But you don't have to do that. I mean, that's a rule that somebody made up that you don't have to follow. And most vegans are not sheeple anyways, or else they wouldn't be vegans, right? They would follow the path. They would follow the herd. So at the beginning, you said you didn't transition like immediately, which I didn't either. It took me about a year, which was very frustrating. And I know you're around the same age as I am. I couldn't even imagine what it's like for people that are 45, 55 and have kids and a corporate job. Like I couldn't imagine how long it would take them. And I think that's what holds a lot of people back is they don't want to go and experiment. They just want to stay safe and whatever and keep it, comfort food for them because they're stressed out during the day because they don't like their job or whatever reason.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of your transition, what did you find hardest to overcome? And then like, what was your solution to achieving it?
Sweets. It was always sweets. There were times that I would get frustrated because I just couldn't find a vegan cupcake. I would go to Sprouts. There was nothing there. And then one day I drove maybe like 30 minutes to a Whole Foods to find a cupcake. I get there and they were all gone. I almost told the guy, "Do you know what I just went through to get here?
Yes.
You don't know me. You don't know my condition."
You don't even know me like that. Give me my cupcake. I'll kill you.
Yeah, so it was definitely the sweets. I think that was the hardest one. With me, not so much.
Right.
Cheese, that one, it was not hard. Yeah, it was definitely the sweets.
It's super hard to find vegan sweets because there's so much hidden dairy
Hmm.
in in, in sweets and cakes and cookies and whatnot. But what's great about being vegan in this day and age is they're everywhere now, and it's becoming such a norm, and it's making it super easy. I could not imagine being vegan in the 70s. Like, what did they eat? How do you feel about soy? I'm very indifferent about it. I hear a bunch of controversy. So how do you feel about it, and how much do you eat a day?
Um, I wrote something on my Instagram, a post about soy. And I wrote, do your research. We all Just because my body reacts well to soy doesn't mean that your body's gonna react well to soy. Um, it took me, I was doing a lot of trial and error with different vegan proteins. Like I started with soy. I started with soy protein from Trader Joe's. But then I felt like I was eating too much soy because I'm also eating tofu. So
Mm.
I stick with the tofu, replace the soy with Vega Sport protein powder.
Okay.
That was fine. I've been eating tofu like almost every day for 3 years now.
Wow.
I
So
pr-
what are the
I
effects you have? Like when you feel like you said you're eating too much, like what was happening when you were like, I think I'm eating too much?
Oh, nothing happened. I feel like I needed like a variety. Like, okay, if I'm eating
Oh,
tofu, made up soy tofu, then I my protein powder shouldn't be the soy. Let me try something else. Uh,
right.
I did rice protein, pea protein. Don't like it.
It's
Like
gross.
my body didn't react well to it. Let's just say I was really gassy. So
Yes.
I did say with the tofu. I prep better when I'm on tofu. I prepped on, I don't know how to say it. It's a Satan.
I don't know. It sounds crazy when you say Satan, right? But I think
I
it's
was like, with Satan's protein.
yeah, I eat Satan every day. Like, ooh.
I did prep on that. I was making it here at home. Um, but I was retaining too much water the day of the show.
Oh.
So it was hard for me to come in lean because I was retaining water from all the Satan protein that I was having.
And what even is that? And how did you flavor it? What did it taste like? What was the texture?
The texture, there were times that it will come out really good. It's more like when you make it, comes out all gooey. Like the consistency comes out very gooey, and you have to boil it. And then
Hmm.
you cut it into little pieces, and it almost looks like chicken. Yeah,
Maybe
I got
I'll
a recipe online.
check it out. On your vegan on your YouTube or on your blog.
Um, no, you know what? I did I take No, I just Googled it. I went how to prep homemade seitan, and then I just did it. I don't do
So
it anymore because I don't like it. I had it so much that I just get grossed out by it now. I'll have it if I go out to dinner and it's in the plate, then I'll eat it.
right.
But to make it at home again, no. No,
I'll
no, no, no.
leave that to the professionals.
Yes, I'll stick to my tofu. I've never had a with tofu. I know there's there's research out there saying that it's not good for us, and then you continue doing research and it says, yeah, it's good for you. Um, People keep saying, oh, it has two hormone
Esther-
estrogen. But from what I read, the estrogen that you get from the tofu is totally different than the one that we make. How are you gonna compare? How are you gonna compare a tofu to have the same chemistry, the same build as we do?
right.
So I, whenever I see an article like that, I don't even read it. I don't waste my time because I did my own research with my body.
I want to ask you, when you tell like a when you post a picture on your Instagram or you post a new YouTube video or blog post, I don't know about you. Sometimes I call them ignorant, but I'm really trying to stop using that word because it's so negative. But I get people who are not vegans, who are usually overweight, the most unhealthy people, typing in stuff like bacon, haha. Like I'll share a video on Facebook and they'll be like, bacon's so good. And I'm like, so how do you handle that? Like, how do you handle haters? And do you go after them or do you just let them be? Or what's your situation?
In the beginning, I'll It was more not so much through social media, because for me, social media, if you're gonna say something, say it to my face, not through a screen.
Right.
Yeah, so usually, I do I do interact with the person when it's face to face. If if in social media, I really don't pay much attention to it, because when people are just being cyber bullies. If you're gonna
Right.
bully, like I said, do it to my face, so I could do it back at you, face to face.
Right. Right. 'Cause I guarantee you don't want to get in an argument with me in real life because you will lose and then you'll be vegan. So
But I sometimes get comments like that, from people like at work, or like bacon too much, or I just find it funny when people just tell me what they eat, knowing
right.
that I'm vegan. Oh, I just had a piece of chicken and it was good, and now I'm just like, good for you. I'm just having this yummy piece of tofu.
Good
Yeah,
for you and your animal eating decisions. Like, I don't know.
I like to make them feel bad. Like, did you know that a cow died for that? You know that milk does not belong to you.
Right. And then I always try to make up, like, I always try to ask them, okay, would you ever buy chimpanzee milk? And they're like, ew, no. And I'm like, Gary Yavosky said this on his channel. Why would you not buy a chimpanzee milk when their DNA is 99% our DNA, but you would drink cow's milk, which is nothing like us, made for a calf who's going to go from being 10 pounds to what 300-pound calf in 9 months. Like, no wonder our kids are huge when
Yeah.
they're born. And I want to ask you some personal questions. Let me just scroll on down. Okay. Do you have a preference on if you date a vegan or non-vegan person?
Um, I never dated a vegan person. Never dated a vegan guy. My boyfriend is not vegan. You know, if the person if is not vegan, I really don't care. But as vegans, when we limit ourselves to only dating vegans, like we are restricting ourselves by not teaching someone how to live a better life. Um,
Very good point.
and actually, we were talking about this yesterday, because he now I'm teaching him better ways to live his life. He works out. He has an amazing body, and he works out twice a day. That guy has a determination to the gym. Is very admiring. So yeah, I he cooks for me. He cooks for me tofu. We sit together and we have full on plant-based meals. Thanks to me.
Yes.
So he's leaving. He lives a healthier life because of the way that I'm sharing my life with him, and he's very respectful too. That's another thing. Like
Right.
I he we've been seeing each other since last June.
Aw.
He's never eaten a piece of meat in front of me. When he cooks tofu, veggies. He goes to Mother's Market and he gets me vegan muffins.
Oh, that's
Uh,
so cute.
he buys me vegan stuff. Recently he bought me vegan shrimp.
That is so cute. It's all about the support.
Yes, and then he goes out of his way to make me happy, to for me to be satisfied in the relationship, just the same way that I'm teaching him how to be more of a vegan. He's teaching me better how to be a good girlfriend, a better girlfriend.
Yes, I love that. And actually, you just opened my mind to that because I've never dated a vegan either, even though my journey's been way shorter than yours. And my goal is to date a bodybuilder vegan who, because my list of like the man I want to marry is so, my, my standards are so high. Single forever. But yeah, you open my mind to, you're right. Like, you dating someone who's not vegan shares that journey. They see that you're a living, full, breathing person. You're not dying, you're not withering away, and you're extremely happy, and maybe that will change them you know, not that you want to change them, but it will make them see. And like you said, I mean, he cooks you plant-based stuff. Like, that's so cute. So cool. Well, thank you for sharing that with me, because I'm going to try to
Welcome.
experiment with that.
Yes, that's another thing that I told him from the beginning. He knew that I was a vegan, and I told him, I, I don't, I don't expect you to change your ways. Like, I'm not gonna convert you into a vegan. You know,
Right.
you are who you are, and I like you because the way that you are. But the only thing that I do want from you is respect. Don't you dare put a piece of chicken or a piece of meat in my face. Don't use my ways as a tool to make fun of me.
Oh, right. Yeah, I hate that.
And we're good.
So in one of your posts, you mentioned Eric Thomas and his quote, which is actually one of my favorite quotes from him. And it's like, don't quit. You're already in pain. You're already hurt. Get the reward. And when I train clients and they're on the ground doing like their 9th push-up and they're about to die, I say exactly that. You're already crying, boo. You're already in pain. You want to look good? Let's go. Get it, you know? I love him. And so tell me a time like where you were just absolutely destroyed and you were far from giving up, but then like what was the mental chatter in your head that really pushed you past that barrier? Like, what do you say to yourself?
Actually, when I posted that quote on Instagram, it was because I was having a horrible day, and a day that extended into weeks, into a whole prep. It was for the
Wow.
national show. Deep down, I didn't want to do the national show because I knew I was coming in too muscular for the bikini division. I don't know. There were days that I wouldn't know how to get out of bed because I'll tell myself, "Oh my God, another day that I have to struggle to stay on track." It was a very difficult prep for me. It was a mental, or say, it was an honest mental struggle. Not so much physical, because I love working out, but my passion is to lift heavy stuff. You know, that's the reason I started working out. Started working out because I wanted to, not to be like a man, but I wanted to train like one. I wanted to be. If they could do it, I could do it too. That's how I got myself out of that cardio bunny stage that I was on in the beginning. I would see all this powerful, like strong men in the weight room, and I would feel intimidated because I was just an itty bitty girl. And my passion is to go to the gym and just and hold on, I need to charge my phone.
Okay.
It's just just to go to the gym. And can you see me there? Is that good, or should I just leave it like this?
Nope, that's perfect.
Perfect. Okay, it's fine. My passion is just go to the gym and live heavy. And when on this prep, I feel like I was restricted to only doing lightweight because of my shoulders, because of my quads, of my lower body. I think my concern was, just go heavy on hamstrings and glute.
Right.
But when it came to my quads and shoulders and back, I felt very restricted, and it started getting me down. It gave me anxiety. I felt very depressed too. I remember one day I got on the freeway and I drove for about an hour on the freeway.
Wow.
I just couldn't exit the freeway. I passed so many gyms, so many 24 hours, and I just couldn't get myself to exit the freeway to go to work out.
Because you knew you were going to have to be lifting those fives, or?
Excuse me?
Is that because you knew when you got there you'd have to be lifting fives and stuff, or?
Yes, because the gym has become like, is for most, the gym and fitness is a way to escape.
Right.
Of life situations and problems. And when the gym became more of a torture instead of enjoyment, that's when the preps started getting difficult, because my shoulders were big. And I'm gonna be honest, I did train myself out of a bikini athlete. And at that point, I didn't know how to accept my body. I was seeing it more like, what did I do to myself? Like, why did I train so hard? I was putting myself down instead of bringing myself up. Like, Jessica,
Right.
you did this on your own. No coach, no team, no name, just Jessie Vegan.
Right.
and and it was very hard just to be able to train for a national show. It was very difficult. And I just didn't know how to bring myself up. That self-motivation was gone. I didn't know why I was a vegan anymore. At one point, I became very, very selfish. I was like, why am I doing this for the animals? They don't know what I'm going through. And then I stopped myself, like, hold on. They're suffering more than we are. They're giving ourselves, they're wasting their life in a slaughterhouse. And that's when, like, I had to snap out of it, and I just continued pushing. And I reminded myself that day, you're doing this because of that cow that you saw in the video, that cow that they took their newborn away. You're doing this for her, and you're doing this to teach others that you could have the body that you want without any animals getting harmed.
And were you dating your man at the time?
Yes, he was so sweet. Poor guy. Yes, he will text me every morning with motivational text messages. During cardio, I hate cardio. I will FaceTime him, and he'll stay with me on the phone while I have to finish cardio. At his house, he will always have sparkling water for me with flavor.
Oh.
Yes. So he was very, very helpful. He was my shoulder. He was my shoulder for me to rest and to vent. And I feel bad because when we get hungry and we get
Yeah.
attitude, I gave him attitude a few times. Leave me alone.
I want to ask you, and thank you for sharing that, because that was also inspiring, because everyone knows, I mean, you know this, everyone looks at your Instagram and they think you're perfect. They think you're just born the way that you are, right? They're like, oh, she just naturally has that body. Even though they see your workouts and stuff, it's like a disconnect. The same thing with eating meat. They don't understand that the bacon you're eating was a pig that was alive. And it took me a long time to admit that too, because one of my goals is to figure out how to break that disconnect. And I think for me, the answer is watching the videos over and over again and actually looking at them, because before I was vegan, I saw the videos and I would I'd be like, oh, that's bad. I'd look away. But until I really watched it and did not look away, I couldn't make that disconnect. So what do you suggest when people are like, how do you suggest people get over that disconnect of the fact that the bacon they're eating is pig?
I always tell people, you always do your research, because it'll be, we could just tell them, but we by us telling them, it was just our voice.
Right.
With a video, you plant that image in their head. And I always tell them, watch videos, do your research, and find out what's happening nowadays. Why animals don't have why farm animals don't have absolutely no rights.
Right.
And I always, well, if you want to make a change, you have to do your research. Because I could tell you what to do. I could tell you the reasons why I'm vegan. But when you create your own internal, what's that word? Internal motivation, internal reason why you're gonna go vegan, then you're most likely to continue being a vegan. But if I just tell you to do it and you don't have a reason why, like when you don't create your own reasons, then most likely you won't be able to stay as a vegan for the rest of your life.
I love that you said what's happening nowadays, because people, I don't know if you know who the Hodge twins are on YouTube. They're like
vegetarian.
Well, they actually made a video making fun of vegans and vegetarians because they were all about meat, right? And I guess their wives, I don't know what happened in their lives, but yeah, they recently decided to go vegetarian, but they also do vegan 80% here and there. So what they said really. Oh, and Rob Bailey, Dana Lynn Bailey's husband.
Oh yeah, did he say he was gonna try it or something?
I think he actually said no. I think he said he's going straight vegan, and it's going to be really interesting to see if Dana Lynn Bailey does it too. Because if we could get her on this dude, she would have influenced so many people, and it would be bomb. But anyways, the reason both of them became vegetarian was they said that they watched these videos that were current, and they were like, holy crap, that happens now. Like, yeah, Cowspiracy was made 20 or however many years ago, and they see all these videos of like all the cows getting murdered and raped and all this stuff, but it's back in the day. So they're like, it's a disconnect. They're like, oh, whatever, it's better now, there's organic and grass-fed. It's like,
Or
no.
cage free?
Yeah, cage free. It's like, no, they're screwing you. That's called advertising, and they're winning. So I'm ashamed to say I've lived 26 years not even clicking into that, and now I'm just so much more open to that, obviously. So on one of your posts, you were wearing a Batman shirt, and you said even Batman's vegan. Like, is he really vegan?
I think one of the actors that played Batman, he's vegan.
Yes.
Like, vegan.
I would love if I could say like Christian Bale was vegan or something. I should check that out. Let me write that down.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's the guy who went vegan.
Okay, so my next question was about nationals and like how you said you were overqualified and you went figure. So like you kind of already answered this, but whose decision was that, and was that scary for you? Do you care about the way that they pose compared to the way bikini girls pose? What was your just feeling about that?
Oh no, I think I since I didn't know much about figure, I really didn't follow any figure athletes on Instagram or social media. So I would just look at magazines like NPC magazines and just like, oh, wow, they look great. But it never caught my attention
Right.
until nationals. It was right after nationals, my friend Tracy, and she told me you have to go into figure. You know, because I was after nationals, I was left with two options: either break down muscle and continue being a bikini athlete, or continue on building.
Right.
And she told me she was definitely my voice, my inner voice telling me go to figure. And I actually now that I really paid attention to detail on stage presence as a figure athlete, and is very very empowering. The moment that she steps on stage and she opens her wings and she shows the world like yes, like as a woman we can build muscle,
Yeah.
and we we have to put in the work. That's it. We might have to work even harder than a man to be able to step, to be able to grow a beautiful pair of wings. And now that I'm not doing a bikini prep anymore. I work out my wings twice a week because I when I step on stage and I open my wings, I want to show the world like, hey, I did it, and I didn't let anyone tell me that I couldn't do it. Yeah, there's people, they're naysayers. Oh, you can't
Yeah.
do it. Or, you're too small. So that's definitely I use that as fuel for the gym. That's like my pre-workout. Tell me I cannot do it, I will do it.
Yes, girl, I'm all about proving people wrong. That's what drives me. If I ask someone for help and they deny me because of whatever reason, I'm like, I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna do it better than if I did it with you, and you're gonna see. So is that your favorite part to work out? Your back and your lats and your wings?
Yes, before it was glutes because I was a bikini athlete,
Right.
but now just having getting that satisfaction of walking into the gym. Like I'm gonna work out my back today, I'm working out shoulders, I'm gonna have a crazy pump, it's gonna be the best workout. And now it's different. Now I truly found that passion again, the one that I lost on the national prep. Feel like I found it again. I have it in me. Even my boyfriend noticed when we talk on the phone. Like we usually FaceTime after the gym, and I told him I'm just like smiles. I'm happy. I'm happy because I feel like I killed my workout and I'm enjoying it. I'm so happy. And yes, my close friends and my family they notice the change in me. Now that
And does
I'm
he not live nearby you?
excuse me.
Does he not live nearby you?
He lives like 30 minutes away from me, but we
Oh,
go to different gyms, which I like. You know, the
yeah.
gym is my territory. This is my place. You go to your gym, I go to my gym.
That's great. I love that. Well, on your Instagram post, you write so good. Like I'm not a reader, and even I don't know if you follow Massey, Fit Massey. She's like, oh, what the heck is her name? Anyways, she writes really long posts under her posts. I can't read them. Like I get bored. But yours, I just easily it just flowed so well. So, could you elaborate? You elaborate so well also, but how long have you been writing? And like where can people experience like your creativity? Do you have a blog or
Um, I know people keep telling me you should have a blog, Jessica. Honestly, it comes down to that motivation or the inspiration to write is just keeping it real. Um,
right?
Social media is, I think, is a great way for people just to show their high points in life. If you go through my Instagram, I write the highs and the lows, and I feel like I become more inspired when I write the lows.
So is that one of the reasons you think contributed to you having 10K is you being so real about your ups and downs, or do you think it's your body picture posts and stuff like that?
I think people do like seeing athletes who are always shredded, always lean. So I try to I do like that physique too, but I like to share when my full regular day to day, like this is normal for me.
Right.
Um, so I think it goes both ways. People do like it seems like I get a lot of likes when I'm like more shredded, and then when I'm more full, people are like, oh, she's just fat.
You're like, bitch.
Like I'm building a new body. Hold on.
Right. You're like, so are
Okay.
you.
I think also being vegan is different. You know, people always go for things that are different. Especially being an athlete, bodybuilding athlete. So people are impressed by us. We are a rare kind, especially as women. Women who lives are rare. Women who live and are vegan,
Oh,
forget it. Like the minority.
yeah, especially women who live and are vegan and cook. It's
Oh,
out there.
that girl, that's a trifecta.
Yeah, we're the trifecta, man. The trifecta. um, so it's been really great talking to you. I just want to ask you two more questions and then we're going to wrap up here. The first question is, how many languages can you speak? And do you feel just tell me about your communication with the other ethnicity or race and their vegan mindset?
I speak English and Spanish. I was born in Puerto Rico,
Mm-hmm.
and as a vegan, I think is a I think the Hispanic culture is so revolved around meat. The moment
And
that
cheese.
for breakfast, meat, lunch, meat, dinner, full of like pork. It's a lot of pork in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Um, this is one of the main dishes is pork. So with that, I feel like I do get the chance to not only share my message with the American community, but with the Hispanic community, I tell them like, hey, you don't have to eat that carne asada, or you don't have to eat that lechon. You can eat other stuff that are healthy and are better. I work at Disneyland, and seeing guests that are Hispanic and are overweight is is insane. You know, you see their kids who are obese too.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
so
young,
crazy.
and with onset diabetes or high cholesterol at such a young age. And there has to something has to change in the Hispanic community. People keep telling me, "Oh, but it's being vegan is expensive," and I'm on a low budget. Like I'm on a low budget too. I work at Disney. Of course, I'm on a budget.
Yeah.
um, but you just have to like be organized with your money and save enough money and plan it out. I always tell people you need to plan out your meals for the week, especially like my coworkers who we're on the same budget. You have to plan out your meals right. And I shop at Sprouts, and I give myself an allowance for the week, and I stick to it because I meal prep, because I make sure to walk into Sprouts with a list of food and stick to my list.
Do you see the world becoming vegan in our lifetime? And if not, what would you want to see the world change through? Like, would you want people to try to do like no meat Mondays or whatever?
It will be in an ideal place of in a world paradise. We will all be vegans, right? Animals wouldn't eat each other. We wouldn't eat them. They wouldn't eat us. So that would be the ideal thing. I feel like all vegans, we all wish for that. If it's gonna happen tomorrow, in 100 years, in 1,000 years, I don't know. I feel like now people are so involved into just pleasing their desires of eating meat that we're not gonna change. But like I said today, if we put ourselves out there, we continue like you're doing with this interview, like I'm doing, with continue building a body on a plant-based diet, then we can make a difference. It takes one person to make a change, and for that person to teach it to another person, and it continues as a cycle. So I feel like all we can do right now is using social media, using our bodies to show the world, like, this is what's going on, and this is how you can make a difference. Like I said, like with my family and with my boyfriend now, I always tell them, I'm not forcing anyone. I'm not forcing you to be vegan, but I'm just teaching you. I'm planting a seed of knowledge into you, like the seed that is veganism.
And once you know, you really can't go back.
No.
You really can't. So I've had so much fun. Like, this was great. I appreciate everyone for listening, and you can find Jessie. You can give out all your social medias right now. So where can we find you?
You guys could find me at Jessie_vegan on Instagram. And Jessie is Jessi.
Yes. Okay. So
Up in my last name. Jessica Ortiz.
Yeah, or Facebook, Jessica Ortiz, and you pop up. You're the very first one that pops up. So it's because you're popular.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out for this, and I want to have you on the show again. Like, we will do like a 50 show reunion. You'll come back on and share your experience, and I'm excited to watch your journey on the vegan bodybuilding journey on Instagram. So thank you.
Thank you, Danny, so much. I had a great time.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget to check us out next Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. I've got some great information that I'm going to drop. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram, Dark Sunshine, DarkSunsh9. Contact me, and I would love to get to know you. Have a good day.